Bryce Carter, CIO and financial advisor with Financial Strategies Group in Okemos, is joining us again today. Let's talk about what happened with the Biden administration's debt forgiveness plan.
Yeah, so
Student
loan. Yeah, we talked about the student loan forgiveness a while back, but yeah, so the Supreme Court shot it down. I mean, there was always question marks of whether that they could go that avenue, the executive order kind of route for that. And yeah, it got shut down. So what this means for borrowers, that's the big question on everybody's mind. So student loans have been accumulating at 0% interest for most government student loans since the start of the pandemic in 2020. So that's good news. So you don't have a whole bunch of interest you got to make up. Interest is going to start accumulating again in September, and payments are going to resume in October. But there is a little bit of a relief still there. For a 12-month window, there's going to be no late penalties. Interest is still going to accumulate, but you're not going to be negatively impacted on your credit score if you don't make those payments starting in October. Ideally, you should, because your interest is going to be accumulating, but there's a little bit of help there still.
Not a bad idea if you're seeing it coming, that maybe you start making those payments now if you're able to, right?
Yeah, starting September, October, I'd start making the payments. You don't want interest accumulating, because what happens with interest accumulating is compound interest, and that's a tail you don't want to chase.
Right, right. So talk about the secondary plan that you think is coming in the future for that.
Yeah, I really think that at some point the political environment is there, and it's kind of split, but it's halfway there towards supporting some sort of forgiveness and relief at some point. And I know this is a kind of a hot button issue, and I can understand where people are coming from, but there is some fundamental problems with student loans. The interest rate on them is far too high. So if you can get a mortgage for a fraction of a student loan interest, that's probably not necessarily equitable. So I think that one of the problems that we have in this country is the cost of an education is expensive. Yeah. Too often that education doesn't end up producing the career that you went to school for. And then when you have to borrow for that education that's expensive at higher than what it should be market interest rates, that's not necessarily right. So I'm not saying that all student loans should be forgiven or anything like that, but we definitely need to make some changes in this landscape.
What do you suggest that students prepare for, or the types of loans that they should be looking for?
Yeah, the biggest thing is that you shouldn't plan on initially just jumping into a four-year university and looking at these student loans as blank checks. Now that's got to be coached by counselors and parents of the borrowers on the right way of going about borrowing. The other thing that I would say is that if you've been working and you have the ability to refinance, take a look at refinancing those.
Great. Thank you. Always great information. Bryce Carter, Financial Strategies Group in Okemos.
Thank you.